What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Rated to Love Season 6, Episode 11. It's titled All in the Family, you guys. So, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me that solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out the way, without further ado, let us discuss Rated to Love, shall we, guys? So, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. So, we see the men, and the men are meeting up with nephew Tommy. All right, man. So, let me tell you this. So, after the last time I saw you, gentlemen, I hit up Tina because I wanted to meet up with Tina just to talk with Tina, and probably to nobody's surprise, she stood me up. So at this point, Tina's journey is over. Tina is not ready to love. I think we all knew that, Tommy, but hey, go off, right? So, actually, she goes in, right? So at this point, I want you men to take a woman that you're interested in and introduce her to your family. I was like, wow. So we're at the final four, and we are introducing the ladies to their families. I was like, and then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. So the final four, let me think of the connections that we have. Joy and Clifton, that's it. Well, I'll be nice. Carmen and Donovan. Those are the only two connections that we have on the show, and I'm gonna use air quotes. Air quotes, because I don't see either Carmen and Donovan lasting. And I don't see Dakia. I don't see Joy and Clifton lasting. And I'm gonna tell you guys why in a little bit. So, the first person we see is Clifton. So Clifton is going to be introducing Joy to his uncle, got his name, and his cousin, got her name as well, right? So Joy is saying, it's been a long time since she's actually met a man's family, right? So then when she sits down, his cousin asks her, why did she go through this process, right? So she says that, for quite some time, she did things by herself, right? She used her career to hide herself and avoid things, right? So she says that, with Clifton, he checks every box, check, 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 right? Without her even having to tell him. I was like, oh, okay. I guess, right? If you say so, right? So she also says that she likes the fact that, Clifton, no, he said, did he say this or did she say this? No, it was him who said this. He likes the fact that she doesn't sugarcoat things. I was like, okay. Okay. So then his uncle asked her the question, so, he has 2 kids, right? She was like, yeah. Or does he have 3? However many kids he got, he says, he got kids. She said, yeah. So his uncle was like, okay, so what if something happened? I guess what he was saying is, what if something happened to the mother of his kids, right? And he, in that instance, became a full-time father. How would she, handle it? How would she rock with it, right? So she says, I'm cool with it, right? I think she said she got nieces and nephews and cousins or whatever. So she's cool with it, right? And she loves kids. So then, they also talk about the fact that 6 months out of the year, she goes to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, right, for her music, right? So they ask, how would that work, right? And she says, with her and Clifton getting close to each other, it's made it a little bit difficult for her, right? Now here's the thing, right? Here's my thing. I'm pretty sure. So we're still in the thick of it. We're still in a pandemic, despite what people want to say, right? But most jobs are work from home these days. So I don't know what Clifton does, but couldn't Clifton? Not saying that he has to, but if he can work from home, why don't he why don't he take his job with her for the 6 months that she's in Mexico, right? But hey, I'm not saying that he has to do that, and I'm not saying that's something that needs to be done. And I know a lot of people were thinking, hey, with, this whole 6 months thing, we never heard about this before. People thought that, that this would be the reason that they might not last. I just say it because I feel, and I tweeted this to someone last night, right? I was like, with Joy and Clifton, it gives me the new car smell, right? You know, when you go buy a new car, you know that you get in the car, I'm like, oh, this car smells so good, right? But then 3 to 4 weeks later, you ain't got when you get in your car, you're like, oh, damn, that new car smell is gone unless you go buy an air freshener, right? So that's kind of what it was for me. That's what it feels like with me for Joy and Clifton, that they give the new car smell kind of vibe. But you guys can let me know what you think, and we will discuss it in the comment section below, right? So next up, we see Donovan. So Donovan is meeting with Sabrina, right? So Donovan is saying that things have been different with Sabrina since the getaway, right? So when he walks up to Sabrina, Sabrina had an attitude from the jump, and I just wasn't feeling it, right? And then her attitude got gradually worse over the course of this conversation, right? Because at one point she's like, ugh, he's just sitting there cleaning his dirty nails. I was like, unless the production didn't show us, you know, him going through his nails and shit, I didn't. I'm gonna talk about her in just a minute, right? So, like I said, she came in on a defense, right? So he took the offense. He took the offense, saying, you know, he felt offended when they were at the brunch that she was saying that he isn't ready to love. Well, Donovan, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not ready to love because you just recently got a divorce, and here you are on this show trying to find love. So I might not like Sabrina, but I agree that you're not ready to love, right? So where are we at? So he says, you know, he feels that with her, he's been consistent with her, but she hasn't been consistent with him. And she feels like, actually, he feels that she hasn't been consistent with him nor Demetrius, right? And I agree 100%, right? We've saw how Sabrina has operated this entire season. Sabrina has wiffle waffle. So Sabrina has been like a ping pong ball. Sabrina has been like a ping pong ball. She has, when the process first started, she had a connection with Demetrius. Then she had a connection with Tori. Then she went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until Tori moved on from her, right? So then Donovan came into the picture. So it went back and forth. So he says that, you know, what he says to her, that what she says and what she does, they're two different things. And I agree with him, right? So then she says he's sitting there like a baby. And then she says, well, at the sleepaway, that was her chance to explore her connections with both him and with Demetrius. And I was like, what the hell is she talking about, right? Because now again, the editing could be one way, right? But from what we saw, it looked like, to me, she was only pursuing Demetrius and not pursuing whatever his name is, Donovan. So yeah. So then she says to him that, you know, I backed up because you told me that if I didn't make a decision between you and Demetrius, that you would go with Carmen. So that's why I backed up. And he says that is a complete lie. But then he does tell her he's going with Carmen. I was like, okay, I don't really care, because I tweeted this and I was like, I really hope that this episode is the episode that Sabrina goes home. And I also tweeted in this episode that I hope that this is the episode before the finale, because I said I hope next Friday is the finale. And thank the good Lord that next week is the finale. Praise the Lord, because I'm so tired of this damn season. I'm gonna need you guys to give me a lengthy break between DC, Potomac, and Miami. Don't go straight into Miami. Give me maybe. So next week is the finale. So we got 3 more episodes, because the finale plus a 2-part reunion, right? So we're gonna go into May. So we got 1 week in May maybe. So for Miami, I'm gonna ask you guys to give me until May. So June, July. Nope, that's too soon. August. That's still too soon. Give me until September. Give me into the beginning of September for season 7. That's all I'm asking for. Give me at least until late August, early September. Please don't come back in June and July. Because if you come back in, oh God, I need a break from Ready to Love. And then y'all going to Miami, capital for the fuck boys. Yeah. And some old ass fuck boys at that. So let's pause here, you guys, move forward. All right, you guys, so we see Paul. So Paul is meeting up with Dakia. And I was just sitting there looking at, once again, I know that one of my subscribers feel, I know Paul is your boy, right? But we got to call a spade a spade. I don't understand why Paul is still here. I don't understand how Paul made it to the Final Four. He has no connection, and then it feels like with Sabrina, he is forcing a connection that isn't there. Like, let's be real, Paul is forcing his connection. So he's meeting up with Dakia, and he's telling Dakia about, the brunch, right? Remember when Carmen was at the brunch, and Carmen was talking about, he was basically talking shit about Dakia, right? So he explains it, right? It's like I can kind of believe what Paul is saying, but I also believed a part of what Carmen was saying, right? So he's saying that Carmen was asking him, what did she say? What did he say? He said she asked the women he likes. He says, the women who give you the fire when they walk into the room. And so he says that she asked about Dakia. And he says that he told her, don't worry about Dakia. I do believe that. I believe that 100%. We saw how Carmen operates, right? Carmen is a jealous woman. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Carmen is jealous, right? So I believed him in that instance when he said that, she asked, I believe she asked what kind of woman, what kind of woman does he like? And I believe him when he said that, right? But I do probably believe he said something about Dakia, because why else would she run with this, right? Why else would she run with this? But again, I'm not gonna harp on it. We're just gonna keep going, right? So then, Paul says he wants her to meet his family. At this point, I was like, huh? I'm like, so we're at the end of the process, the end of the season. You ain't really had no interactions with Dakia, and now all of a sudden you want Dakia to meet your family. It's really odd to me, right? But okay. So then we see Carmen. So Carmen is going to be meeting Donovan's mother. I'm glad that Carmen came dressed appropriately, right? Now her dress was, it was like a spaghetti strap dress, right? And it was cute. Only thing with Carmen, I mean, she has, she's I don't know how to say this without being, she has big breasts. And there's nothing against her, but I would think when you go to meet, nothing was wrong with the dress. It's just like your cleavage is kind of hanging out just a little bit. I would think that when you're going to meet the family, yes, she was covered up, but she eventually took it off. But obviously, I mean, the mother didn't see anything wrong with it. I just think that she should have been she was conservative. I think she should have been a little bit more conservative, just from my personal opinion. You guys might disagree, and that's okay, right? So his mom tells her that, Donovan is spoiled. So then she asks Carmen, how is she raising her son, right? And I think what his mother was asking, I don't think she was asking Carmen, because Carmen talks about the fact that she buys him things, right? I don't think that's what his mother was necessarily asking. I think she was asking the moral, what moral values are you teaching to your son? What beliefs, what the morals, the beliefs, that stuff. I think that's what his mother was asking. But she said that, when her and her mother, she was given hand-me-downs. I was like, okay, didn't really care. So Carmen left, and his mother says she's a keeper. You need to keep her. I was like, Mother, I want you to go back and I want you to watch this entire season, right? Once you watch this entire season, I'm pretty sure your viewpoint is going to change on Miss Carmen. But hey, let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, guys, so next up, we see Demetrius. So Demetrius, he's going out on a date with Sabrina, right? So, she says that at this point they're at a crossroads after the getaway. I was like, girl, you playing the fucking game out. I just really wanted Sabrina just to get out of my screen. She just annoys my spirit. It's just something about Sabrina. I thought I was gonna like Sabrina at the beginning of the season, but yeah, Ready to Love on Will Packer, because I know you've liked some of my stuff before. Please never go back to DC ever again. Never, ever, ever. And I'm talking directly to you, Will Packer. Don't ever go back to DC. Don't ever go back to the DMV. Never. Never. Ever. Ever. You can go to New York. You can come to Dallas. You can go to Atlanta. Well, I think you've done Atlanta. You can go to Seattle. Well, that's Washington. See, you can go to Seattle. You can go to Jersey. You can go anywhere in the US of A. Just not the DMV. Not Maryland, not Virginia, nowhere in the DMV. Don't ever set foot in the DMV again. Because if you do go back to the DMV, that will be a season I'm not watching nor am I reviewing. Because there's pickings there. It ain't none. Literally, it's no pickings there in the DMV. No shade to my people in the DMV. So where are we at? So, in this scene with Demetrius and Sabrina, Sabrina was talking in circles, and I stopped listening to her. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't even know what this scene was about. I do know she talked about the fact that they brought up what she mentioned about him wanting someone that was submissive. But when your homie said something and she made reference to it, you said that would be an issue. I'm tired of both. I'm tired of Funky Dineva, and I'm tired of her, literally and figuratively, right? So he asked her if she would meet his family. She told him no, they're not there yet. As much as I don't like Sabrina, I wasn't upset with her saying no. I really wasn't upset with her saying no, but hey. So then we see Paul. So Paul has Dakia meeting his brother. And when Paul's brother opened his mouth, I was like, wait a minute. How is it that y'all talk the exact, like, y'all's voice sound the same? Like, if you were to call Paul on the phone and his brother answered it, I would literally think that was Paul talking to me, because they literally sounded alike. With this one, this was just a complete waste of time. It just felt like a throwaway scene because it just really wasn't anything there. Because like I said, Dakia nor Paul have a connection that's in this circle at this point, and they don't have a connection with one another. So his brother asked her, is she looking for love? She says, well, I'm not necessarily looking for love. She's just making sure that, whoever she's with, that they're open to receiving love, right? And then he asked her about, how does she feel about, leading in the home? And she says, well, I lead all day, every day when I'm in my job, in my profession. But when I come home, I don't want to do that, right? But she does want her voice to be heard, right? And her needs to be met. Cool. Let's pause here, you guys, and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So the men, they go and talk to Tommy, right? So I love the fact that Tommy questioned Paul about his newfound connection with Dakia. Paul talked in circles because I'm like, you don't have a connection with Dakia. You needed anyone to meet with your family. Then Donovan talked about his, interaction with Sabrina, how she was on one. So then Demetrius tells, Tommy that, she didn't want to meet his family. So Tommy says, okay, well, I want you to do is, I want you to meet up with Sabrina, talk to her, fill her out, and if you feel like she's not ready to love, then that is your decision. But like Sabrina took that decision away from him, right? Because we see Sabrina and Demetrius, they're talking. Honestly, again, I wasn't listening because I just can't stand either one of them at this point. They're both they're both an irritants to me. So I don't know what the conversation was. If you guys want the deep conversation, I will suggest you guys go check out my friend Misha, Ms. Misha underscore IMO. Go check out Misha. I haven't watched her review yet, but I'm pretty sure she gave you guys a detailed rundown of what Sabrina and Demetrius were talking about. JB can't give it to you because JB is over this season, and JB has been over Sabrina for weeks now. Actually, he's been over Sabrina and Demetrius for weeks now, right? So I don't know what the conversation was, because the only thing that I was left with when she said that she is going to just end the process, right? She's done with it, right? I was like, so you've been playing a game this entire time, right? Like I've been saying that for weeks, that I felt like Sabrina was playing. I've been feeling like Sabrina was playing since that retreat when they told her to go kiss her strongest connection. I've been feeling it. I don't know if I've said it in reviews, but I know I've been feeling it. Like Sabrina has been playing a game, right? Actually, I've been feeling like Sabrina's been playing the game since that episode when it was her and Carmen, when they were out on that date with Wiley and with Demetrius, right? Because you guys remember when they were on that tour, Demetrius was at the back of the bus, not paying nobody any attention, but you got Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Carmen and Sabrina paying more attention to a man that ain't paying you a lick of attention. So I knew that they were full of shit at that point, right? But ultimately, Sabrina and Demetrius, they both went home. Not together, they just went home. And that's it, you guys. So next week is the season finale. Thank God for small favors, right? Next week is the season finale. Then we have the 2-part reunion. This reunion is going to be explosive. I can already see that, right? This is probably going to be one of the best reunions, because this cast right here, I know last season's cast had so many issues with each other, right? Last season's cast had a lot of issues, but I feel like this season's cast got so much more, right? Because the women have issues with women have issues, the men have issues. I think this is gonna be a good reunion. It depends on who comes. It actually depends on who all came to the reunion, number one. But this reunion might be a little bit spicy. I feel like this reunion is gonna be spicy. And I do know, the own Twitter page, they tweeted me about because I tweeted that. But yeah, I think this reunion is gonna be a little bit spicy. But we'll see, you guys. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode overall. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.